Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, and today we're just gonna hang out and do whatever. See what's on my mind. Maybe feature some things here on the web camera. Today's drink of choice is pineapple juice. It's good stuff. A little bit on the sour side though. So you might be wondering why is this called the Slackathon? I noticed a lot of people doing stuff like the subathon and donathon, trying to get more subscribers, trying to get more donations. Fuck that. I just, I mean, I can see why people are doing it, but I just, I don't think I could do it. But I wanted to do some kind of long stream that wasn't a game that I could have fun with and just do whatever and see if people come in and hang out. So, welcome to the Slackathon. Let's take a time and just find things to talk about and find some various things that I've got scattered around the room and maybe talk about those. So yeah, let's just have a chill time. Yeah. All right. So, uh, while I'm here, let's talk about board game league. So one last week of regular play. So we got finals practice next week, the final the week after that, and then a week off to just do whatever. It'll be nice. I thought I was going to step away from the board game league permanently, but after 2 weeks of missing out on shit, I couldn't. I had to come back. A good thing I did because it was there were some good times to be had. So, yay. Yeah. Last week we played Wormspan. I played that for the first time and won it. Then this week we played The Great Fire of London, and I won that one as well. Um, so for the final board game suggestions, we went with the game store owners suggesting this one game that he saw. So that's going to be the game we're playing for. I got to suggest the door prize game. So I'm kind of hoping to either win and then trade with whoever gets the door prize just to have the door prize game that I'd rather have, or win the door prize. Alternatively, it's entirely possible I don't get either one. And you know what? That's fine with me because my board game collection is extensive enough that um, it's completely fine if I don't get another board game. Although I am okay, so I don't know if you've heard, Steamforge Games has acquired War Machine, Iron Kingdoms, and all that from Privateer Press. They're going to be able to do some work in the game lines um, from Privateer Press. The one line I didn't see get put up was level 7. All right. If you're not familiar with the level 7 series, it involves aliens. The first game, level 7 escape. You've got like your group of people. It's semi-cooperative. You have your starting rooms, and then you kind of build out from there. It's possible to make use of ventilation ducts, but there's also aliens up there as well. They can use the um, those to travel. You have this thing called fear, which either improves um, your ability to think if you're calm enough, or your ability to fight and run like hell if it's high enough. If it's high enough, it also attracts clone aliens to potentially hunt you down. And then it's a military base, of course, so of course there's soldiers to deal with as well and find items. There's always this point. So when it's crossed, the mission gets harder, but it also means the mission can be completed. Then there's level 7 Omega Protocol. Apparently it was the We Missed the Doom board game time of year. And you have to play as this elite team. You have kit cards to mess with and decide what your soldier's gonna be able to do. You go the actual layout of the map is already figured out ahead of time, but what you find is determined by cards which are set up by an overlord type player. So kind of descent like and almost descent like. And it's possible to find more aliens and such. Aside from a few issues, it was a pretty good game. It's also the highest ranking on BGG out of all the games in the level 7 series. And I can see why. I love the little tagline for it as well. Their greatest weapon is fear. Yours is an assault rifle. Anyway, and then there would be expansions for level 7 Escape and level 7 Omega Protocol later. But the last game of the series was level 7 Invasion. I Our local game store has like these posters that it sometimes gets from various companies, and I have the level 7 Invasion poster up on my bedroom wall. One enemy, one world, it's all or nothing. Um, so apparently the aliens from the core of the story that have been dwindled down so far that they need to clone themselves um, are the target of uh, a nasty opponent that they created themselves, effectively. The Hydra. The harder you fight them, the harder they fight back. Is how they operate. Every time, they'll show up on the board. You'll have your coalition soldiers fight them, and then as they die, you move up this little evolution dial or adaptation dial, and every 12 um, adds a new card to their abilities, or causes them to spawn more. One of the cards that absolutely has to hit is they become one harder to fight against. So there are things you compare. One is power rating, the other is numbers. If you have higher power, then you get the favorable die results. Um, if you have the same power but a greater number, you get the favorable die results. If you're not in that good position, then you get the crappy die results. There are 6 sides on the die. 3 pluses, 2 equal, and a negative. If things are favorable for you, then your rolls of pluses and equals will eliminate an opponent, and your rolls of negative and equals will eliminate one of yours. If they're unfavorable, then the pluses and equals will remove one of yours, and the negatives and equals will remove one of the Hydra. There's other stuff to deal with, like getting resources, building up technology, and dealing with events that cause panic and other craziness. One of the recurring characters across the series is named Dr. Kronos. The alien species he represents is called the Gin, and he's at the head of all these crazy science experiments to clone, hybridize, generally inflict fear, and he's absolutely critical to winning Invasion because he's needed for the project that will make it possible to completely wipe out the Hydra. And uh, for Invasion, he starts the game in Argentina. Yeah, yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, the Level 7 series is just this weird sci-fi horror arc of escape, infiltration, and combat, and global survival. And there really aren't a whole lot of other games like it. It's Yeah. How many other games are, feature aliens, feature fighting against them, and then having to work alongside them later on to accomplish things, to save the world from a worse alien group? You know, that's why I'm hoping someone comes along and gets that series and maybe does something more with it. The games are on eBay and they range from ultra cheap to just a little bit a little bit expensive. But if you're curious, I do recommend them. You know, they're not the greatest games ever, but they're still worth checking out. What else? Trying to think of some things to talk about. Just Eve, Eve Online. Still playing it. I have a hard time getting away from that game though. You know, it's like I gotta check on my business. I gotta check on my research. I'm tempted to get the freaking Omega clone status and get more freaking research done because there's a lot of blueprints I want to make use of, but at material efficiency zero, time efficiency zero, I don't think they're worth it. So the sooner I can get those improved, the sooner I can make cheaper things and such. I'm glad a few people like gave my economics thing, like even the briefest amount of time. But I don't know if it's really my strongest work or not. One of the things I did not cover, planetary industry. That's only because it's locked behind Omega, and I'm still trying to learn about it. So, so there's that. There's supposed to be a recently kickstarted Eve board game, and I don't know when it's coming to the actual retail store shelves because I want. If I get that game, I want to be supporting my fucking local game store because holy shit, look, it's it. It's just the one place we can go to right now. Well, there's another one on the other side of town, but it's kind of a. It, here's the thing: getting across town sometimes is kind of a pain in the ass, and because my mom's going out of her way to drive me there, I really don't want to put too much on her shoulders if she doesn't need to, you know. So I just stick to the game store that's closest. The part of the disappointment with Privateer Press stems from a lot of screwing with the game stores and the distribution centers, and then ultimately fucking over the player base. Because apparently, from the story I got from the local game store owner here, um, they were putting a lot of their stuff online on sale, and because they had put it on sale on their website, they weren't cutting any deals for the game stores or the distributors. So they're benefiting their players at the expense of the people actually stocking the game and hosting the freaking tournaments. You know, that's just something you do not fuck with the middleman in the game world. All right, just don't. Uh, and then it turns out um, after discounting their stuff online, they released a whole new edition, and that it rendered a lot of the stuff they put on sale um, no good. Did not. The rules were changed, the points were changed, or they were just removed completely. And that's just that's just something you don't mess with. Oh, hello, how's it going? Yeah, yeah. It's already bad enough with Games Workshop making things um, kind of a pain in the butt with um, changing editions for 40K and all that. Especially when they did it with the old world, went to the whole Age of Sigmar thing. Now they're bringing the old world back, and I am tempted to. It's so tempting to get to want to play miniatures games, but the cost is just stupid sometimes. That's why I kind of wish I could find just a little skirmish game of maybe 4 to 12 figures that I can, just run a little group of that and find people to play with and just have a comparatively cheaper option over these freaking big ass army games of, you know, 30 to 150 figures and having to build up terrain and stuff. Yeah, as here, let me show you what I have in mind. This is called Dungeons and Dragons Chainmail. I bought a box of the old Dwarf Army precisely because it was the first army I ever had. Um, Note that it doesn't come with any actual rules. You have to get the starter set, which I might have to look into in the future. Yeah, first you'll have your little character cards, which um, kind of a pain in the butt to sleeve these ones. Yeah, you'll have like specific command figures, like this it says C3. They have various levels, speed, armor, health, save, melee attack, and melee damage, special abilities, spells, and then you'll have units that can be commanded by them. The Stone Spike is considered a difficult troop, which I think requires um, 2 points of command or something. Yeah, it's worth noting all the damage, ranged attackers. They only have a one shot, presumably because they want more people to get up close. So we have the Shock Trooper +4. It's a 3 blunt damage. Yeah, yeah. All the dwarves have a fight orc +1. It's interesting. We have the consumer response letter still in this one for Wizards of the Coast. Ranch in Washington. Still have the little flyer that comes with it too. See, if you're going to have a freaking starter box or a faction box, maybe include some kind of basic rules thing. We have some ultra budget terrain cards. The hill and the high wall. What you probably want to see are the figures, and I still need to put these together. I have super glue set aside just for that. Got Yeah, I think this is the Legionnaire. The cleric, the stone spike, which is going to be a pain in the ass to assemble. The fighter and her axe. Yeah, yeah. The shock trooper. Let's see here. Something along those lines. And then the scorcher. This the arm socket. Okay, out there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go looking for the freaking starter set and the rules that it comes with, or find a copy of the rules online, apparently. There's supposed to be a PDF poster I can look into. But here's the thing: I like having physical books. Yeah, yeah, physical books to actually flip through and have fun with. Reading just whatever the hell I want. Yeah, I mean, you get some more pineapple juice later. Yeah, just finding more, people to play a minis game with in the smaller scale of things is what I would like to do. Oh, man. Like, yeah, I feel like if you're not playing the whatever the popular minis game is right now, it's kind of hard to find anyone. Warlords is dead in this town. A lot of people still have stuff for 40K and still have stuff for Warhammer. They're trying to get the old world going, but again, those are big army games. I want to play the smaller skirmish of sorts. Okay, what else? What else? Oh yeah, making stuff. I want to, you know, get back to work on some stuff I've been meaning to get back to work on. There's my stitching needle when I'm not using it. I have dropped this thing, the needle by itself, into the rug. And this is like kind of a shag carpeting that it's been kind of stomped down. Um, but early on, when I lost this needle, finding it was an absolute pain in the ass. Thankfully, I have a little magnet that I can use to, pick it up from wherever it might be lying down. I just have to sweep it over the rug until it picks up. I was There was some work I was doing on my one pair of jeans. Um, Working retail has always been a gigantic pain in the ass for keeping whatever pants I'm wearing intact. It'll always start tearing at um, where the legs join together, and then in the back. And I'll have to kind of make some repairs, but it won't last long enough. So that's just to buy me time until I can get a replacement pair of jeans. Anyway, yeah, this is the last thing I need to work on. Making skirt extensions for my cosplay because you know, yep, the sailor style outfit of Sailor Moon and all them. You know, that style, the skirt is just not very long, and with the way my body is, yeah, I'm gonna need a longer skirt. One moment. After um after this is taken care of, I have a whole other project I want to start on involving this very nice um material, red and gold. I don't know how well it looks on the camera. I have I have far too many unfinished projects, but I keep seeing stuff and I'm gonna pick this up for later, and that's probably a bad idea. But just having options um is good. It's just good for me. Yeah, I think most of my major video projects are done for at this time. We're done with tabletop games. Um, unless I win the board game league or they get the door prize. Uh, I'm See, I was tempted to do this as a separate video, but we're here. It's the Slackathon. Let's let's just feature now. Robo Rally Master Builder. Because the one thing I'm still going to look into for all my games are expansions. Everything that can expand the game out, add more options. I'm gonna want to pick it up. So Robo Rally Master Builder. I'm gonna take a look at this. If you've seen Robo Rally, the newer one, there's like it's an interesting approach. I feel like it's a little bit more forgiving. Um, the previous version, the big previous version of Robo Rally was old Avalon Hill, and it was entirely possible to lose all three of your lives and basically be out of the race, which sucks. It's harder to eliminate players this time, but with this one, yeah, Master Builder. We've got various tiles, various examples of what you can do with them. How to get more card sleeves, of course. The tiles. Yeah, when they printed these, they did not align them 100% correctly, but it's not bad enough to the point of being unusable. Yeah, like it's a little bit off center there, but it's better on the side. Various walls and lasers and pits and pushers. They had five more upgrade cards. All the map expansions for this game add five more upgrade cards. We've got the smaller docking bays, and then we've got all um, the the quarter boards. You put any four of these together to make one more. And we got the wave with its loop and its lasers and its pit and recharge. Coming and going. All its crazy conveyor belts. doubles, like conveyor belts, pushers, lasers, all that. The H, circles, and the zone, and all roads, and winding. Assembly, the X, the oval, convergence, whirlpool, blueprint, um, mergers, and tabula rasa. So you got two like completely blank boards to upgrade as you see fit. But one of the things they suggest with this is try not to leave too many just clear lanes of getting straight across somewhere. Like we got here, this is, a fairly clear lane, but then we've got the conveyor belt. And it's possible to set something up over here to make it not so clear. Like I could see that, that working. Anyway. Yeah, I love these little level editor type things. The last time I did anything like level editor E was either StarCraft or Jetpack. Making these little missions in StarCraft to just fight already built forces and space stations. And then Jetpack is just making all sorts of crazy stuff. Like having this kind of fall through bridge and these teleporters underneath, and there'd be multiples of the teleporters up top, so you never know where the ball can end up. Where still, yeah, one of the things you can deal with in a jetpack are these steel marbles that will follow gravity and just keep on rolling. And if it runs into you, you're dead. Yeah. But yeah, this, and at some point I want to get the three map expansions. Okay. Going to take a slight break and um, get a little bit more pineapple juice, and I'll think about some stuff to talk about when I come back. What's your pee? And we are back. All right. Had that. Okay. The absolute last of my pineapple juice. I'm gonna have to see about going to the grocery store later and seeing if they have more. Oh, yeah. There's like for grocery stores. There's the one close to home for when we absolutely need to get something and we don't have a whole lot of time. Um, Alternatively, there's the main grocery store, which is a little bit out of the way, but it has basically everything we need. And then there's the store where I work, which is not suitable as a grocery store, but if you need certain things, they might have them. It's where I make the most of my associate discount to buy something specific for the house that we just need. Period. I figure if I tell anybody, they might narrow down where I'm at. Anyway, yeah. Um, yeah, security is no freaking joke when it comes to being a creator, apparently. There's some just really, really wild people out there that just want to obsess over finding people and invading their privacy and other messed up shit. It's like, wow, why? This world has trust issues, and as long as people continue to make those trust issues even worse, things are just gonna end up disappearing. You know, it just really sucks. You know, but people have to play it safe, and I don't blame them. Anything else going on? Uh, oy. Waiting on VTuber merch. Um, it should be on the way. It shouldn't be a big deal. I'm just gonna we'll say it. I'm getting something from the Randa Nuring second set drop. Um, I'll leave it a mystery until it actually shows up. But it's unless you read my Twitter, at which point I said, "Oh yeah, I'm buying the bicycle tie." Uh, Talk about security and then proceed to blab my whole plan of what I got. Yeah, yeah. I have my I'm hunting for a new job outfit of slacks, shirt, jacket, and tie. The tie is stained from hot chocolate from walking with a freaking cup of it to an interview, and it was. I think it's buried underneath everything else. I don't know if I'm looking for it. I mean, I have all the time I want today. Let me get these little storage. These various clothing storage bags. And that's not it. all these storage bags, I should probably get some labels for, and and a marker, and like just keep better track of my stuff, or start donating things that I'm really not going to use. I have storage bags in a storage bag for crying out loud. That's a bell dress. Oh, oh, there it is. We have the custom made duffel bag that I made with my own two hands out of canvas and a zipper and broadcloth on the inside. I don't want to show the whole thing because I have my real life name initials on it. Yeah, we've got the jacket. Where's the buttons? Very nice, shiny buttons. Can't seem to find the label on it though. Yeah, here's the tie. Let's see if I can find the hot chocolate stand, shall we? It's it is very faint, but I want to say it's about here. I might have put it through the washer. But yeah, and of course I had to. Um, I was getting back into the swing of things, looking for another job. I had to look up on YouTube how to do the freaking tying the knot or the Windsor knot or tying a tie. So I was like, let's see here. All right. It's like you'll have it, and then be over, through, over, through, around, something. Let's see here. That's over, through, around, and up and through and down. So, something to that effect. I'll have to look it up again. To all you instructional people on YouTube showing people how to do shit, you are the best. Thank you for all your hard work and showing us how it's done. Anyway, I should probably hang this up and actually let it, get some air going. Maybe just throw it in a do a little the no heat tumble in the dryer. Put my dust out there. Yeah, I may have too much shit in my costume closet. Uh, uh, just collecting costumes and all that is just, my thing. But yeah, once I get the tie, I'm going to store it in this box, and it'll be in my little shelf of random collectible shit that I built up over the years, or at least over the recent times. Like, yeah, let me show you some of the other stuff I've gotten in terms of collectible stuff as well. The most recent VTuber merch I've gotten has been um, Orby from the Ren and Erin set one. The second run, where they made a whole bunch more of them. I've already got the Ren and Erin pocket orc shirt as well. The Kokinosaur pop-up parade figure as well. I keep around for a minute. My first time buying VTuber merch for like a complete set of things was Iris. We'll adjust the camera and hope it doesn't fuck up on me. Yeah, I still have like the cup and the mat are like in pristine condition, but I want to find more uses for them. Um, you know, I might just start using the cup in the future. But it's like uh, I've got these things and I want to protect them. I guess uh, maybe I'm being silly about things. And then last but not least, we've got the Takanashi Kiara wall scroll. That one very specifically came from relatives who were visiting Japan, and they're like, "Hey, we're here in Japan, and we know you like anime stuff. Is there anything we should look out for?" I'm like, "Yeah, There's this thing called Hololive, and there's this VTuber I like. If you can find something for, something for, and and it came in the mail as a little bit after my birthday, and I was like really friggin' happy. Yeah, it's interesting to see what they come up with for like VTuber merch drops and all that. Like what ends up being useful or fun. You know, I kind of joked about it last year with the pillar shop. If I had a line of merch, what would I want in it? Uh, and if you know me by now, you know I like games, so I would want game related merch. Maybe a set of D6s with my pillar face as the one. I miss my freaking set of D6s that I had when I had my ogre army. I wish I'd held on to that. Apparently, Chessex doesn't even make those dice anymore. The little chaos, you know, the chaos arrows dice for the one side. Uh, it is frustrating as hell when they stop making shit. But I guess time runs out for everything, in production. There's some games that get reprints on a regular basis, and then some games just get that one print and then they're done. I have a hard time um, really getting into the idea of Kickstarter, just because one, not having the money, and two, not really having the time to wait. I can go down to the game store. There's a game on the shelf, and if it looks interesting to me, and if I'm looking up, reviews on BGG or wherever, I'm like, yeah, this is a solid game. Then I can pick it up right away. With Kickstarter, you kind of have to hope the game doesn't suck. It doesn't turn into a bloated mess. Hope that it doesn't get set on fire. So apparently that store is like um, only like defective ones were on fire. Were burned, but still, just it doesn't really make for good public relations to have that kind of to show that kind of destruction. I guess. Yeah. Uh, I need to get back to my game designs too at some point. Oh, let's see here. There you go. The whole thing with it. All leftover games. Shit. Yeah, here's what I got recently. We've got blank game board, 18 by 18 folding. Create your own game with your own original artwork. Let's go ahead and open that son of a bitch up. Yeah. We have a board to work with. Mhm. Also got the 200 blank square cards. Apostrophe games. They got a lot of game design stuff. I'm always open to saying, try making a board game. Even if it's not you're going to be your big thing in life, just try. Once in your life, make a board game. You could use like a set of cards, a small set of cards. Games like Love Letter, for example, use a small set of cards and some tokens, and that game is now a certified fucking classic. So if they can do it with that few components, you can probably do it with just about anything. Yeah. Can now make a board that utilizes a 6x6 grid of these cards, which is what I want to end up doing. And then, of course, we've got the appropriate card sleeves from GameGenic. So I gotta look for one more pack of these to be complete. And then, um, along with this stuff, I'm thinking about using the peoples represent various individuals that you can bring onto your team to do stuff. All right, so lately I've been thinking about this whole game called Syndicate, and trying to do something board gamey with that idea. Along those lines of you've got a team, you send them out on missions, they do shit. And if they succeed, you get more things to work with towards your ultimate goal of conquest. But you're gonna have to deal with other people's teams as well. Ugh. So this is going to require actually thinking hard about for rules and card ideas. Like I probably won't write directly on the cards. I will get like some um, slips of paper to write on, and then put them with the card in the card sleeve. And that way, if a card doesn't work out, I just have to take out the slip of paper and put in a different slip of paper. All right. I'm about to run out of pineapple juice. I'm gonna might have to call it here in a little bit. Or I can do the smart thing and get a bottle of water. I don't think there's any water left though. The freaking bottled water in this house just runs out so freaking quickly. It's kind of nuts. It's because my nephew likes to get into everything. So no freaking discipline whatsoever. Oh, there's other, yeah, all the other stuff that I'm figuring out with. Oh, yeah, this was a project that I wanted to do as well. Paint up these tokens to look like the various advancements from advanced civilization. So, like mining would be represented with a pick, pottery with the pottery, of course, coinage with coins. Uh, it's such an extraneous thing for me to work on too, but it's a creative thing, and having creative content on the channel is something I really should try to do more of. Playing games is nice. Original shit is better. So, to play games and get people to, check things out and then try to do original stuff to have something, just a signature for me. But then the original stuff doesn't necessarily get checked out compared to the games that people might be more familiar with. So things don't always work out. It's it's frustrating. Yeah, it's all trash. Speaking of trash, I'm gonna have to take mine out at some point. Today is trash day. I'll be able to throw that stuff out when it's emptied. Anyway, and I got more leftover components and other things to work with as well. Like the various spaceships. I want to find more of these. Find more of these and maybe make my own space game. This is why I wanted. I was talking about the whole economics of Eve was. Um, I wanted to try thinking about uh, a game idea along those lines. You've got your mining and reprocessing. You've got your manufacturing, and then you have your mercenaries that take the things that are manufactured and go fight shit. That can go towards um, further manufacturing, reprocessing, or clearing up, asteroid fields for more mining. And then there'd be like markets and shit. But then the more shit you add to the game, to any game, the harder it's going to be for people to really learn it and retain that information. There are games where I'm pretty good at remembering 95% of the rules, and I kind of have to refresh myself on like 5% of the special situations. And then there's other games that are like I remember the basic gist of the game and the general things you're doing, but then there's special circumstances and other special actions and all this other crap. And it's hard to keep that in mind and not go crazy. Um, Here I stand, for example. Uh, at least that game has the decency to have fucking reference sheets. A game without reference sheets always pisses me off. That is the one thing that pissed me off about the Level 7 series, with a lack of reference sheets. It just it just makes things go more smoothly. The people have a good idea, a little bit of organization on what order things are going to happen and little things, little details that are worth paying attention to. You know, there's so many things in game design that are either this works great or this is dumb. What the fuck were they thinking? Yeah, sometimes it's the mechanical, sometimes it's theme, sometimes it's choices that make no sense that are why would someone actually do this? It's out of a very specific situation that required enough foresight to see ahead and think, I know I'm gonna have to that I should do this because I'm expecting this and this and that and that happen. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be nice to find more ships. These plasticky ships that have been used over the years. Another one actually has color going for it. So, so before you start worrying, oh crap, why is the game missing the ships that you held on to? First off, Eclipse. Eclipse Ship Pack 1. Um, I'd rather, I would, you know, use those ships, would rather use those ships for that game, which means these are my Nord cores. These kind of ships have also been used in Galactic Emperor and Eminent Domain. I think some don't show up until like certain expansions hit, but I think it's funny that there's just a single company providing all these ships for those games, and I have no clue where to find just these ships. I would love to buy a shitload of these spaceships for use in a game design. Maybe they have to be contracted out. I don't know. But if you know where I can find them, let me know. Extra trains from uh, the Steam train expansion and Steam variants. So yeah, there's a locomotive expansion for Steam that lets you replace the discs with the trains, but you need to hold on to those discs if you plan to get Steam variants, which requires those discs for stock options. Yeah, a bunch of them extra ones. I used like some of each color and painted over them white and then blue to make a seventh player for one of the maps that allows for 7 players. Uh, However, I also got Steam Barons, which requires discs. So, Another future video idea is taking this little wooden dowel and making the components that I need for the seventh player to have the stock discs. Yeah, it's definitely a future video idea. I don't know if I want to do it as a live stream in case anything goes horribly wrong, because I am operating a handsaw. uh, yeah, just finding more things to do with this channel uh, is just kind of a challenge. Maybe figuring out game designs in the process. But then that comes with the danger of, oh crap, now you're gonna know who I am. There are things that I've made peace with on my creative path. Um, and that's one of them. We have the extra poker dice from Witcher the Old World, because instead I got a set of 5 dice for each of the players. So now I have a bunch of dice and need to figure out something to do with these. If I could get a second set of these dice specifically, these would be perfect for Fiasco. Can you imagine the Witcher set for Fiasco? How that would play out? Anyway, so we got these dice of that I made. I painted over at least. E for evasion, crosshair for accuracy, skull for danger, something. The paint keeps chipping off, so it's like crap. That's why I ended up looking at like recessed dice. Yeah. I started looking at recessed dice because my freaking Runebound third edition, the stickers were not staying on. So I went and got some recessed dice. The faces, sunken in, and painted my own set for that game. Then I ended up selling that game because the whole system was kind of pissing me off. It's the reason why I stick to Runebound second edition. I would go back to first edition because the D20 is hilarious, but also because it has the etched dice. The freaking second edition, they switched over to the recessed face dice with stickers, but they also went with plastic figures and the 2D10 system, which is a little bit more manageable. This is also from Steam. These are from Terraforming Mars, the original generation, temperature, oxygen, Venus, dominance, and the council. And then these are just so Hobby Lobby had like a bunch of these boxes of various crystals that I used early on for my game ideas. And then I realized for some of the games, because color blindness is a real thing. That's why I ended up switching the tokens I was using for Hazard to wooden tokens, where I actually paint on them what they're supposed to be with the symbol and the color. That's one of the nice things about the newer edition of Citadels is they have the symbols in there for um, to compensate for those who might struggle with seeing colors. Seven Wonders also does it. Splendor has the shapes, which help. Yeah, apparently, accessibility is a real thing. So it's worth maybe keeping that in mind with making a game idea. A lot of little extra dice from stuff. You still have these um, little map maker tokens. I had dice set aside for combat system. A little bit of make your own world of various terrain bits. And these little ground tokens that I picked up fit decently in there. It's not snug, but if I need to get it out, I can get it out. And then finally in this box I got my set of cards. Blank cards this size. I still gotta figure out what to do with. That's my recurring problem. Is I get started on the idea. You know what? These might actually be a good mission cards for mission cards, resources. Yeah, that'll go into the syndicate idea. All right. It's still, yeah, well, just have to figure out what to do with the map set then. Yeah, I'm always trying to think of something. It'll just pop up into my head out of nowhere from things that I'm observing and thinking about. And then I'll be into the process and it'll stop. I can't get to focus. I can't give a damn anymore. I'm just, huh. I'll try something else, I guess. That sucks. It's one of my recurring issues. Well, I have about a dozen or so unfinished stitching projects, a dozen or so unfinished game designs, a dozen or so unfinished games on Steam. Uh, just can't focus. I've never been formally diagnosed with anything, but I know my grandma was telling me about how they were like testing my intelligence and all that. And it was like, yeah, you did pretty well. You did pretty smart for a kid. But also that I would Point out things like a upside down umbrella could be an earring. Uh, it's rather silly. Uh, I think until I know exactly what I want to do on this. Sashi's back in this box. We have a very random assortment of dice for whatever. So what else can I do? What else do I want to feature? Oh, the fifth uh selection for the Sailor Moon series is supposed to be out. Stars. That is the one part of the series I haven't watched at all. So I'm trying to get the physical copy and maybe watch it when I got some downtime. I really haven't watched a whole lot of anime lately. I think the most recent ones, well, let's say I rewatched Flip Flappers last year. I rewatched Dot Hack Sign last year. I rewatched Shamanic Princess this year because it was supposed to be my watch along thing and it didn't work out at all. So I need to, I really need to learn the ever loving shit out of OBS because I just, things would be a lot better if I better understood how this whole thing works. Like, um, for example, my avatar is not transparent. Um, Here, slow this down a sec. Where to go? There. Okay. See, it's not transparent. It's actually just on uh, a solid square of color. I'm gonna fix that. I need to learn stuff like, you know, transparent PNGs. I don't have Photoshop. I don't have any major program other than the freaking Paint program. Um, I don't use the Paint program that's on Windows 11 because it's doing some weird shit that just does not work. And it's frustrating because there are certain expectations with doing the selection, transparent background color, and all that, and it's not moving correctly. It's annoying that it does that. But yeah, I really need to find resources on understanding OBS a little bit better, and maybe do some more. Yeah, do some more research on that. Do some more experimenting with what I can do with my streams and videos. Um, I should be able to try doing the shorts style live stream, but I don't think it would be good enough with the way I still have just the static in the static image. Maybe there's something else I could look into as well is um those images that can react to your voice and then change accordingly. If I can learn about that and make it work, um, that makes things a little bit more interesting. Uh, I feel like having the static image is more seems to be more like my brand of things, the way things are going. But it seems like maybe maybe I should be stepping up and doing more with this. With my presentation, it's uh, I hate the feeling that I have to catch up with other people, that I have to reach certain standards set by other people when I really just want to do my own shit and not worry about um, what's popular, what's trendy, what's someone else's standard. I just want to keep doing my own thing. So that's where I'm at. This was supposed to be a long kind of marathon of sorts of a stream, and I'm feeling like maybe it's time to take a long break from it and maybe maybe catch up on other stuff. Um, maybe get a little bit extra sleep or something. Maybe get to get back to work on my projects because they're not going to do themselves. But anyway, this is the Slackathon for June. It feels like I did quite a lot for calling it a Slackathon. Just come in but the whole idea is just encourage people to come in and just chill and you don't, no pressure to chat, no pressure to engage. Just sit back and enjoy the show. But if you wanted to say anything, feel free. I wanted to take questions. No one's posting questions. Nobody wants to ask me anything right now. And that's fine. So for anyone that stopped by, I want to say thank you for watching. If you're checking out the VOD, thank you for watching. And let's just see how far we can keep this channel going. Over 2 years. Over 2 years. I feel like the start of August. It was the start of August 2022 where things really picked up, and they haven't really slowed down completely. But there's been, those moments of I'm not really doing as much as I used to compared to the August, November, and February gigantic bursts of content creation that I was doing. So maybe things can speed up, or we can maintain pace, or slow down. Um, Friday evening, Eve Online will be the next stream. It will be evening, mountain daylight time, and hopefully I won't be too terribly interrupted. But I hope to see you there. All right, this has been Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator. I'll see you next time.